Okay, let's talk about different sources of heat energy. Where does heat come from? Chemical heat energy is the most common source. When a combustible comes in contact with oxygen, it begins to break down at the chemical level. If it occurs fast enough, it produces enough heat that could create a fire. Self-heating or spontaneous heating. A material does not need an external heat source. Remember, we call that auto-ignition. The material heats up to its own ignition temperature. One key factor is you need enough air around the material, the right mixture of air, the right mixture of heat. The heat being produced fast enough will create a fire. Oily rags, such as maybe covered in linseed oil, is a very common way that this starts. Electrical heat energy is another form. When you overload an electrical outlet, too many plugs going into the wall socket, it overloads the circuit, the wires heat up, creates a fire inside that wall. When you have a spark or an arc across a gap due to a loose connection or something, you can have the potential to create a fire. Mechanical heat energy, heat of friction. You take two surfaces, you rub them together, it creates friction which produces heat. A lot of time, people's furnace motors will seize up. They'll quit spinning. The belt will stick. It produces a lot of heat. Usually in the furnace motor situation, it just produces a lot of smoke. People think their basement is on fire, but really there's no big issue other than the smoke and the smell. But if that were near a combustible, it could produce enough heat to start a fire. Heat of compression, when you have a bunch of molecules bouncing around, say like you're filling up your SCBA, the gases are being compressed into a small area, those molecules are bouncing off of each other, it heats up. If you fill up an SCBA tank too fast, you feel the tank, it's warm. That's heat of compression.